The Birth of Nyasha True Life Stories with Nyasha TV Part 2. Welcome back to Nyasha TV True Life Stories. Today I take you back to where my journey began. This is not just the story of my life. It is a testimony of God's faithfulness through every season. Some names and places have been changed to protect the privacy of others, but the events I share are true. Before I was born, God already knew me. As Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." Looking back today, I can truly see His hand upon my life from the very beginning. Switch to the picture of baby Nyasha in her mother's arms, 0:25. It was in the month of July, when the trees had shed their leaves and the cold season had settled over our rural home in Africa. It was during that quiet season that I entered the world. I was the fourth child in our family, following my 3 older sisters. My parents had been praying and hoping for a baby boy. In many African communities during those years, a son was often regarded as the heir to the family name and inheritance. So, when another baby girl was born, I can only imagine that my parents were disappointed. It was not because they did not love me, but because they were carrying the hopes and expectations of their culture. Even so, God had His own plan. Instead of giving up, my parents continued to pray and trust God to bless them with a son. A few years later, their prayers were answered, and my little brother was born. When I look back today, I smile and say that I was blessed to be the bridge that God used before my brothers came into the family. What may have seemed like a disappointment to some became part of God's perfect timing. As I grew older, I would discover that my value was never determined by whether I was a boy or a girl. My identity was found in the God who created me with purpose. Join me in Chapter 3, where I will begin sharing my earliest childhood memories